How you doing?
Okay.
Yeah?
It says we're live.
Let me... I don't see anything on your thing.
What is happening? Wait, it says it's starting.
Oh, okay.
It's starting.
Okay.
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 Okay. It might be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we are live, I believe. I think. I hope. I pray. I wonder.
I don't see anything.
I mean, it's saying in my studio that our stream health is like, it's happening.
Let me ask my friend.
Okay, cool. Because, like, really, truly, I have no idea what's going on. But hello. Clearly, this is going well. Clearly.
We're live.
We're live! We're live! We're live! We're live! We did it! We did it! Woo! Welcome! Oh my gosh! Okay! Hi!
If anyone out there is watching us, my butthole was very clenched for this.
Oh my god, it's been a time!
We did it! We're here!
We did! Oh.
Welcome.
Oh.
For all, welcome
Hi.
to the trash fire.
Yes.
That is Brown Bag Online.
That would be us.
Woo.
Oh my gosh, would you like some champagne?
Oh my gosh! I would love some champagne.
Well, aren't you glad that we have the wonderful Barefoot here, some nice and bubbly fresh champagne to
Not sponsored.
help calm our nerves. Alright, I trust you more with this because I sliced my finger open.
Okay.
See?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's not do that.
Okay, let's scare the cats though. He's ready to bolt. Ready? I'm full of fear!
How do you do it?
How
do you do it?
No.
Buddy.
Oh?
Buddy.
Uh-oh.
Nope, not me.
Okay.
Nope, not doing it. Okay. Welcome.
Oh no.
Yep.
Do you have a...
Maybe?
Aha!
Okay.
We are coming up with solutions. Lesbian solutions.
Lesbian solutions.
Oh my god. So, while I am trying to figure this out, would you like to tell everybody... Oh! Ha! That I did it! That I opened the wine. Okay, would you like to tell everybody why we are here today celebrating with some wonderful, wonderful champagne and trying our best at life with live streams that we've never done before? Like, why do we suck at this so much?
Well, first off, neither of us are technologically advanced.
At all.
So if problems happen, that is why.
Yes.
So, welcome. I hope the Facebook link works. That's the thing. I hope the Facebook link works.
I'm seeing that we've got a couple of people. Oh!
Emma Bull!
Oh my goodness!
Bubbly!
Hi!
Nice to meet you.
Hello!
Perfect. Okay, so we're here. We're ready. We're doing it. Welcome! Okay. Got bubbly. My nerves hate everyone in this world. Welcome. Hello. My name is Taylor Elgarten, and I'm coming to you as the supposed editor-in-chief of Brown Bag Online.
You say supposed like it isn't true, but it really is.
I've written... Okay.
And I'm Nikita. I am the editor and many a thing.
Editor, publicist, life support, emotional support,
Pretend
video.
good at stream person. Yes.
Nikita's my everything.
Oh my gosh, you're my everything. I'm so happy that we're doing this and that it's our first release.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember back before the COVID days when you sat me down and you're like, we're going to make an online journal? And I was like, yeah, we are. And
Here we are.
here we are.
So for all of
man.
you who are watching through our journal, it's called Fawn, which is about how we came up with that name. But it's called Fawn, and it's a wonderful read, and Brown Bag is just a wonderful time.
The link for the journal is in the description of the video, or should be. So you should be able to click on that, pop on over, take a peek at it real quick.
Oh, that's really good fucking bubbly.
Is it? I had a little bit, but I was too nervous to really taste it.
If anyone's wondering, Target sell some really good champagne on a budget.
I mean, it reminds me of college a little bit, you
I
know?
want everyone who is currently watching to know that this bottle of champagne was $7.
Amazing.
And not a penny more.
This is how we celebrate here at Trash Fire Studios, otherwise known as Brown Bag.
So, what the event is for the 8 people who are currently watching, journal is a journal that we decided to take a different spin on what a literary journal was and what art is in general. This whole conversation started actually back...
Oh, hang on. I think the stream dropped out for a second. It says it's buffering. Uh-oh. 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 Wi-Fi. It do be like it.
Did my Wi-Fi cut out?
I don't know.
You should also plug yourself in, bro. You should plug your computer in.
Oh, I probably should.
Yeah.
Here, let me grab my thing while you take a peek at the stream. I feel like we should have someone just watching the stream being like, do we suck? Is this working? Or is do buffering? Is do buffering? Uh-oh. Plug in. Aha! Nope.
Is it buffering?
It says it's buffering, but I can't tell if it is actually.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I was like, we should ask a friend from the outside who can be like, is it buffering?
Cool.
And turning off one of the auxiliary lamps.
Yeah, turn off the one. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Yep.
This is that silent communication that we're all talking about these days. COVID style.
COVID style.
Okay.
Is it buffering? Where does it say we're buffering?
It says it's buffering up here.
Oh. That just means it's lagging, right? That doesn't mean it's...
You know what?
Oh, my friend says we're live.
Perfect.
So we're live.
We're
We've
live.
been live.
Oh, man.
This whole time.
This is why, hopefully, this is a learning opportunity for us because, man, oh, man, do we know nothing.
We know absolutely nothing, and honestly, this is great.
That's like part of the whole vibe of the Brown Bag, honestly. Like, we came into this being like, we want to make something that is for everybody, that is super accessible, and like, honestly, Emma Bull, you're a gem and I love you.
No really long ones. Perfect. Okay.
Beautiful.
So, I don't know if anyone's really read. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Taylor Elgarten. I'm the editor-in-chief of Brown Bag Online.
I am Nikita Gamay. I am the editor and video coordinator and publicist sometimes and contributor to the blog space for brownbag.online.
Perfect. We had a third person, Rebecca Higgins. She was our selection editor and one of the people who started Brown Bag Online. And obviously, our mascot and true hero, Benji Knight.
We love Benji.
True hero. So Brown Bag started, I want to say, 3 years ago, 2017. For anyone who goes to Hamlin who's watching, this conversation started in the Fulcrum office in the basement of Manor. So it started on Hamlin campus. I was the editor-in-chief of Fulcrum Journal, and Rebecca was one of my editors. She was my literary editor as well as the editor-in-chief of Canvas Magazine. Doesn't really matter what either of these things are, just that we were a part of them. And we were talking about how there is no platform for any of the art organizations, any of the literature organizations, or HU Radio. There wasn't a platform for them to work together or to collaborate at all. So me and Rebecca were like, well, why don't we start one? So then that was the summer that we graduated, I think. Maybe?
Yes.
Maybe?
We graduated in 2018.
We graduated in 2018, but the conversation happened in fall of 2017.
So yeah, senior year.
So senior year. Cool. So senior year. So then that summer, me, Rebecca, and our other friend Courtney got together and we hashed out this plan of like, what do we want this journal to look like? What do we want from it? What is the whole goal? And we decided that the whole goal was that art should be in conversation with other art. We decided that art tends to be inspired by other forms of art, whether it's a painting piece. You'll see later that one of our contributors actually has a piece in the journal that was inspired by a song. There's a lot of poetry out there that is inspired by books, that it's inspired by plays, that's inspired by just staring out into the nothingness, you know? So that was that was the main goal. And the other main goal was inclusivity and accessibility.
Yeah.
So one of our goals is to make that website as accessible to literally anyone who can use the internet.
So clearly it's not made for us. We just struggle at the internet and we shouldn't even be.
It's great. I love it. I love everything. I love everything. But, you know, when we were building the website, one of the questions was, can you read this font? Is this something that you can read? Is this something that you can read well? When we were putting the journal together, we were trying to figure out, well, can a deaf person follow along with this? Can somebody who's hearing impaired follow along with this? And how can we make this as accessible as possible to as many people as possible?
So that we can just broaden that conversation with art, make sure that we can get all the voices that aren't usually heard or have more barriers to be heard.
Right. So me and Rebecca had a conversation one day at Groundswell, and Nikita was part of our writing group. We had a writing group of like 7 different people from Hamlin, and then it turned into just me, Rebecca, and Nikita, and it was so great. So it was one of those days where we were just writing, and Nikita talked about how they wanted to start a movie review blog.
Yes.
And me and Rebecca exchanged looks with each other, and we're like, And then we told Nikita about Brown Bag, and they were so excited and super jazzed, and we brought them on board, and honestly couldn't have made a better decision.
Yeah.
I don't think Brown Bag would be what it is without Nikita. I don't think I would have done anything with a website that I bought 2 years ago if Nikita wasn't there to help me through it, because honestly, what a gem.
You're so sweet. We're gonna
Goddamn gem.
Oh my gosh. Well, and honestly, Brown Bag has been like one of the best things for me recently. It's been just really motivating to be surrounded by art and to be constantly creating art. Even if the art is not always perfect, it is conversational and it is sparking, I think, a meaningful conversation. And especially now when we are in the midst of COVID, when we have so much going on in the world, I think it's really important to continue talking with each other and being in conversation with our art and making sure that it can go anywhere, really.
So, that's the goal of Brown Bag, and that's what we want from Brown Bag, and I think we definitely hit a first step with this journal. Fawn, link, bio. So, one of the things that we did for this live event is we wanted to have the contributors themselves be their own voice. You know, we're only 2 people. We can't be the voices for all of the many different people that we selected to be a part of this wonderful journey. So we asked them to create videos to either do a reading, explain their piece, whatever they really wanted to do. We gave them maybe too much creative control over their videos, but you know what?
Learning
it happened,
process,
and
learning
it was
process.
there, and we did it. So what we have to show you guys is some videos from a good chunk of our contributors. So we're going to show you it in 2 groups. There's going to be first group. I don't know who those people are.
You know what? There is a notebook right over there that has them listed.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are making this work.
Okay, so
To be right, our video.
I love this. Okay, so group 1. I will introduce group 1, and then Nikita will introduce group 2 when that time comes. So group 1 is going to be Patricia Miller, who wrote Surrender, Wanted, Volunteer English Tutor, and Years Past Memories Remain. Anthony Thankus, who wrote You and Flower Boy. Sam Ely, who did created. Thank you.
Yes.
Bah. Guys, I went to school for writing, not talking. Who did Untitled 1, Untitled 2, and Untitled 3. Howard Debs, who created...
There you go. There it is.
Flowers for the Dead and Dorian Before, During, After. Elizabeth Lewis, who did Fairy Tale 3, 4, 1, and 5. Yep, in that order. and Mike Hickman, who wrote Mindset. So that's going to be our first round of people. Then you'll come back to see our faces. We'll talk a little bit more, introduce the second group. It'll be great. Drink some wine, eat some food, sit back, enjoy. Welcome. All right, cool.
Words. And surrender is playing with the sound of words. I also realized that I needed to surrender some things, that there was maybe a little bit of extra meaning behind this poem. The next poem is Wanted, a volunteer English tutor. This poem was written while I was tutoring a young man fresh from Nepal. He was in the 3rd grade at the time, and he could tell me, I have brown shoes. Well, I fell in love with Krishna right away. And
Goddamn bottle.
in getting to know Krishna, I arranged to be with him during the summer. His dad died that summer. And so I got to know his
Ooh.
whole family,
High anxiety.
and the friends of his family, and the friends of the friends of the
Let's
family.
have this
And we started
up.
giving birthday parties, first to Krishna's sister. Well, it took all of 20 minutes into the party before there were at least 20 children who had a birthday within the next 2 or 3 days and wanted a party. So over the years, we've gotten to know 20, 50, I don't know, but lots of the most wonderful children in the world and their families, and they're all our nieces and nephews. The third poem was written about these last 3 years of my life, and I probably am the luckiest woman in the world. I was married to George, and we played together, we worked together, we did just about everything together. Even fighting, we fought well together. And then George was diagnosed with soft cell sarcoma from exposure in Vietnam. And he died 3 years ago. So this poem looks very much at my movement through the last 3 years to a point where I feel really alive again and I can love again, including those 50 or so nieces and nephews we had. So it's a poem that says, yes, life is good, love is good. The next poem is No Time to Write a Sonnet. No Time to Write a Sonnet is a recent poem about living during isolation with COVID-19. It started out to be a play session with words. I was going to manipulate them all into 12-syllable lines and have a sonnet. It just gotten started with the process when I realized, no, I wasn't supposed to write a sonnet this time. I was supposed to use my sewing skills to make masks. And so the poem literally became No Time to Write a Sonnet. And I'd like to close by reading a poem to you. I wrote this first as a thank you to some of my poet friends who welcomed me into a whole new lifestyle, a whole new way of doing things, a whole new group of friends at the poetry workshop. The room doesn't have windows, but laughter and chatter fill it with sunshine. Like 3-year-olds' first visit to the library, everything is new and I want to discover it all. My head feels like a box of balloons ready to fly. Words run like children playing musical chairs, but words don't sit still in chairs. Each word wants to grab its own idea. Before you died, you told me I was the woman who wrote beautiful words. I'm glad I'm here. Real poets help us shape meaningless words into something funny or beautiful. Maybe I will learn to tell how I miss you. Did you know Hemingway once wrote a poem in 6 words? Oh, you don't think I can do it? Writing poetry eases the grieving heart.
Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Bankus, and I'm super grateful to have 2 of my pieces featured in Brown Bag. My pieces are called Flower Boy and You, and they were both written for an art show that I was asked to be a part of last summer. by my good friend Elizabeth, who also has her gorgeous photography featured in this issue of Brown Bag. So I was asked to be a part of it and was told that the theme was flowers. And it came at a time where last year was one of my shittiest years. It was right on the heels of a really, really rough breakup. And so I was depressed for the majority of the year, and I wasn't feeling creative or inspired, and I just had pretty much stopped writing altogether. And so this show was the first time that I had written that year, and to not only be writing again, but to be writing about flowers, these gorgeous, beautiful, growing things. It was just so healing to me, and the entire experience just really reminded me of my power and my voice as a writer, and that it never really went away, even when I wasn't feeling it or I wasn't using it. So these two pieces are both really special to me, and I'm going to read one of them. This one is Flower Boy. Someday, I wish to be the flower boy in a wedding. Teach me to weave, artisans of the world, for I will craft my own basket. Teach me to garden, nurturers of the earth, for I will grow my own flowers. I will dazzle the floor with gardenias and drape the pews with peonies. This wedding should be in a church, so the purple dahlias can rival even the brightest stained glass window. I want painted Jesus to look down on me proud with sunburnt tears in his eyes. I will rub rose oil on my skin, paint lilacs across my nails, braid orchids into a crown. I will anoint my head with glitter to shimmer down the aisle. I will press daisies into my dress, gleaming with crystal specks, to look like flowers in the rain when I spin. Because everyone should know that magic can happen when a boy who feels pretty finds the right dress. I will swoop rainbows with flung petals in silent remembrance of those fallen at the hands of the church. For those closeted and cast out, exorcised and exiled, a cascade of morning glories to welcome the dawn. For those taught from a pulpit that demons dwelled within them, a scattering of sundrops to shed light on those lies. For the ones before us that never made it out, the ones with graves no one cared to dig, a shower of zinnias and bluebells to grace them. For the drag kings, queens, and ones in between still becoming, a flurry of marigold buds to bloom with them. And for the rest of us fairies, faggots, and freaks in all of our abominable beauty, 1,000 rose petals to dress our wounds. Finally, when I reach the end of the aisle, I will look up to painted Jesus with thorns on his head, soaked golden red in sunlight. I will pluck an orchid braided along my brow for him to adorn his own crown, so that he might feel beautiful too. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm the creator of Untitled 1, Untitled 2, and Untitled 3 in this edition of Brown Bag. So the inspiration behind Untitled 1 is this song called Our Hell by Emily Haynes and the Soft Skeleton. This song, while it has a dark tone and some dark lyrics, there is something very uplifting about it to me, and there's something hopeful about it to me, which is represented in this painting. The kind of entirety of the song is kind of the blue-green gradient that goes across the page, and then the coral red line that runs through it is kind of that little bit of uplifting that I feel kind of when I listen to the song. I like the idea of creating things, of painting things inspired by songs, because it gives another layer of interpretation to something that can be as personal as a song, especially a song with lyrics. I just think it's interesting that we can create something out of something that's already been created. And I find songs a huge source of inspiration to me in my paintings. And it makes me happy to interpret someone else's work into something creative of my own that really acknowledges the song and the creativity and the work that the musician put into the song. Untitled 2 and Untitled 3 are a little bit similar paintings. They're both in oil on mixed media paper, actually, which isn't gessoed or primed or anything. So eventually the oil paint's gonna eat away at that paper, which is fine by me. I don't think anyone's gonna really care in 100 years or so. But I bring that up because I thought those two were gonna be practice. I didn't expect those to actually turn out well. I had just gotten a set of oil paints, of like really cheap oil paints, because I wanted to play around with them. I had worked with some water miscible oil paints in high school, and it didn't go very well between either the age or the lack of quality of the paints and the lack of quality of the brushes that I had access to at the time. I had a very poor experience, to say the least. So I don't know why I thought buying a cheap set of oil paints again was a great idea, but I did it anyways. And this time I wanted to experiment with palette knives and using palette knives to create something rather than brushes. And these two were just supposed to be, I don't know, kind of feeling my way around what I was doing. And when they were done, I was like, I think I really like these. And so I saved them as more or less a finished piece. As far as meaning, Untitled 2 and Untitled 3 don't really have much of a meaning, which is fine. I think maybe our English classes over the years have kind of all led us to believe that everything has a meaning, everything has a secret meaning. But in reality, they were just practice pieces. But I think that if you or if anyone else looks at them and feels like they form some sort of connection, or they create some sort of story around it themselves, I think that's awesome. I think that part of our interaction with art is creating our own stories with it. Of course, that's just my opinion. Of course, everyone has different opinions about art and how to view art and how to think about it and all that stuff. So I'm no art major, so I couldn't tell you much about scholarly things, but I can just tell you my experience and my thoughts as someone who does stuff. So I'd just like to thank Brown Bag for accepting my submissions, and I am super looking forward to this edition and, of course, whatever they do in the future.
Okay, I'm here with this brown bag you see over my shoulder. Not the brown bag, but a somewhat special brown bag. More about that. And I have some questions that you might say I got out of the brown bag about my two pieces, Dorian, before, during, after, and Flowers for the Dead. Here's one. Why did I write about my experience and encounter with Dorian, the 2019 Category 5 hurricane that almost hit Palm Beach County, Florida, where I live? In my writing in general, I subscribe to the considerations suggested by Denise Leveretoff related to her conception of organic form. In this regard, Dorian is a kind of memoir, but that's more the how of it. At the conclusion of Dorian, as well as Flowers for the Dead, you'll find an afterword, a device I use often in topical writing to amplify the work, and that gives you a sense of the whys and wherefores. So as not to spoil it, I'll just say, in a way, through writing Dorian, I tried to make some sense of something that is going on in the world through the role of a kind of witness. As to Flowers for the Dead, I just want to say this is a real story that needs to be told again and again for our times. I rearranged some words I read and added some here and there, and just as a Griot or Magid and other storytellers of old, I have passed it on. Oh yes, the brown bag is from Brooklyn Bagel, the place where the idea for Dorian got its start with a muttering from a customer. You'll see.
My name is, and I'm a Minneapolis-based photographer focusing on conceptual portraiture. However, I also shoot documentary as well as landscape style photography, specifically when I am traveling. The focus of my work on conceptual portraiture didn't really start or get its wings until I was in college. At that point, I began an internship with North Minneapolis-based photographer Heather Byington. And at the time, I had been shooting exclusively film, documentary style work, and actually really wanted to be a war photographer. So I took a 180 and interned for her and was watching her create these incredible, stunning dreamscape portraits using a combination of Photoshop and in-camera detail, sourcing her own costuming and wigs and props and making so many things for it. And it was just really inspiring and motivating for me. The time I'd also been in classes working with a lot of male photographers, and seeing some of their work of women was very hypersexualizing and objectifying, and in most cases I know that that wasn't their intention. However, it was a product of the society that we live in and still is. I mean, it's really commercialized now. But it really pushed me to create my own narrative because I was so tired of seeing those types of photographs of women. So I combined that with my desire to create surreal, dreamlike portraits with photography, and decided to photograph almost exclusively women in a way to fight back against that sexualization. The majority of my work is based off of dreams that I have had or ideas that come to mind when I am reading or listening to music or daydreaming. And what I most enjoy about my work is the amount of detail that I get to bring into each photograph. I begin with a fully formed concept in my head, and I usually kind of sketch out some of the details of that concept just so I have a visual representation in case I forget, because I'm very forgetful. And then from there I source costuming, either typically through thrift stores or by creating my own. If I need a wig, I'll do that. On my models, I do the hair and makeup myself. I make props myself. I source the location, the time of day, just everything I can do to bring that vision to life, and really see it in physical form. From there, you know, it's just about photographing people I love more than everything. And that's who I usually use for models, is friends and family. On occasion, I'll use models that I haven't worked with before and make new friends. But my big motivator was Annie Leibovitz once said that a thing you see in my pictures is that I was not afraid to fall in love with these people. And that's something that I really hope to convey in each of my works. Thank you.
Hello. My name's Mike Hickman. I've written the story Mindset for the first issue of Brown Bag, and I think we're supposed to wink or something now, and I'm not very good at that, so take that as read. Winks, okay? I'm delighted, absolutely delighted to be part of the first issue of Brown Bag. I'm very thankful, thank you Benji, for accepting the story, and I hope you enjoy it. Mostly I'm just really keen to see what else everybody else has done, and what the launch event is going to be like, and where Brown Bag is going to go from here. As far as my own story is concerned, where does it come from? Years and years ago, when I was I think at the end of secondary education, a friend of mine who I wrote all sorts of phenomenally unsuccessful comedy scripts with, just outrageously unsuccessful comedy scripts with, he was in charge of the school yearbook that year. It may even have been the first time they'd ever done it. And I was asked, because I was known for writing odd things, if I wanted to write a story for it, and he gave me no brief whatsoever. And so I turned in a piece about an odd little man who was seemingly investigating a murder, and watching out of a window a murder scene about to happen, like Hitchcock's Rear Window. And the twist, and it's not much of a twist, but the twist was that, in fact, what he was a voyeur of one kind or another, or worse, like a peeping Tom type situation. And he was there to watch the murder. He knew it was going to happen. He'd brought his camera, he'd brought his flask, he'd brought his sandwiches, and he'd brought his cigar. And I wrote this story, and I thought, this is great. Thank you so much, Graham, for giving me the opportunity to write for the first Toynbee School, as it was, yearbook. And funnily enough, when that yearbook came out, with bits of art and other things, and I don't have a copy, so this could all be a lie. It could be lying to you, and why not? I write things. I always lie. In fact, I'm lying to you now. Anyway, when it came out, the story wasn't included, and it was never mentioned again. And just recently, I've been writing more and more things for various people, including Brown Bag, and I sent them Mindset, and Mindset is the more mature, grown-up, possibly more mature version of the same idea, a bit removed, somebody picturing something that's going to happen that might or might not happen. Maybe he's a fantasist. So there you go, that's where that story comes from. I really look forward to hearing where other bits of art in this first issue have come from, and I wish you all the best of luck from here in York. Do you like the background, by the way? It sort of goes, doesn't it? You know, books. Just don't look too closely. I think I've hidden all the ones that are most damning. Who knows? Anyway, the best of luck to Brown Bag. Thank you so much for publishing Mindset. I hope to write for you again. And yeah, thanks Benji, thanks everyone. And I hope the launch goes really, really well. Thank you very much. And goodbye.
And we're back. And we're back. And we're doing the thing. And I think that deserves a round of applause.
Well, we'd like to first and foremost say thank you and congratulations to all of our contributors. Honestly, Brown Bag wouldn't exist without you. We would just be two dumbasses trolling the internet.
Oh, truly, truly, truly. I feel like this has just been such a learning experience for us generally. And it's made all the more wonderful to know that there's like a lot of people out there that believe in like what we're going for and what we want to do. And it's lovely.
The
really
feedback
is.
for the journal has been outstanding. Honestly, I've heard nothing but praises from anyone who has taken a look at the website. Whew. Let me tell you, that was a wild ride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember you coming to our meetings, just full scream mode, ready to go because of the website.
Ladies, gentlemen, fellows, and folks, the stress of building a website as someone who doesn't understand what that is at all is too much for a normal person to have to do. But we're here, we did it, we created it, and honestly, it was I think, one of the funnest parts of my life.
Yeah.
I would say. I think this journey is definitely a highlight of my life.
I mean, I feel like this year has been really, what's the word? I feel like...
Shit show?
Yes, but...
I'm not making any money, so, YouTube cannot demonetize us. Okay. Anyway.
I mean, oh man, you're already in on the demonetization jokes. That means you're in for it. Ooh. No, but I feel like this year has been kind of awesome in the biblical sense, where we have faced a pandemic. We have faced bad administration things. And I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't make it.
I know, but it's still beautiful.
Fan art.
Oh, God, yes. But it really has been a year of firsts and more vocal firsts, I want to say. Like, the violence that has happened against Black men in this country is not, like, uncommon. It's been with our history forever. And I feel like this year we've really gone hard with many issues societally, with our global climate, with the way that we are valuing resources for healthcare. And as a person who is front seat to that, a lot of the time, it's a very scary time. And I really appreciate that we can come together with art, be in conversation with one another, come with our hearts open, ready to discuss where we are, where our worldview exists from. And I really feel like Brown Bag is a wonderful platform for that. And I'm really glad that, you went through with it and you did the thing, because I think we need more of these conversations. And, it's not necessarily conversing with the people that want us to do harm, but it's like reaching out and saying, hey, this is where I come from. Do you want to talk about it? And I think that's really important, especially when a lot of misinformation has spread out very, very liberally.
One of the interesting things that I think both of us found, and Rebecca, when she was helping us with selection, was the difference of voice. I think we found a lot of people who had a lot of different things to say about the same general topics, and to see all of those different perspectives in art. Art has always and forever will be a form of expression, will be a way of putting your thoughts down into a medium, whatever that may be, whether it's a short story, whether it's a nonfiction piece, whether it's a smattering of colors on a canvas, or whether it's capturing something behind a lens, or whether it's a video of, pole dancing or a performance art, whatever it may be. It's a way to get in touch with your emotions and get in touch with what's going on around you, and figuring out a way to talk about it and express it.
And challenge ideas, too. That was, like, one thing that our contributor said. It was, well, more than one contributor said this, that they wanted to be able to reach other people through their art, and I think that is what Brown Bag is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really amazing and really positive, and I'm just so excited to, like, keep this conversation going with, like, new issues and more contributors and just, like, the whole growth of this. I really am very excited about.
When we started this, I told Randy and I told Rebecca, if we get 5 submissions, I'd be happy. And we had over 80 submissions, and we selected obviously a good chunk of those.
Yeah.
You guys can read the journal yourself, and, like, I guess if you really want to do that math, count it and, like, see how many there are. But, to see something that big from a very first issue from, like, 2 20-something-year-olds that have absolutely no idea what the fuck is going on in the world,
at all.
What the fuck is going on at any given point in time, it's really wonderful to have seen such a resounding, like, yeah, this is really awesome. I'm really going to back this. I really, feel this.
For lack of a better word, yeah. And, like, I think that's just, it's so much of what we wanted, and, like, that is kind of the thing, though. It's awe-inspiring to see the number of people that feel the exact same way when you feel so isolated in your own thoughts and perspective. Like, I think that is really the beauty of art, is being able to, oh, baby, but, like, being able to feel like you are able to be with others in art, even when there are distances, like, gapping all of us, especially with COVID, especially with, the distance that especially people around the world feel with one another. And in America, we are a land built on distance. And I feel like when you can bring together groups of people through art, that just makes connections the world over.
Speaking of distance, just so everyone knows, just because I enjoy saying it, Brown Bag is officially an international journal.
Yep.
It's super fun to say. I really enjoy saying it. I'm going to say it every gosh darn day of my gosh damn life. But also, speaking of distance, I feel like quarantine really helped our platform specifically, because we're a digital website. We're a digital journal. We do everything digitally. You know, there's not going to be a print version. There's not going to be, you know, something that you can tangibly have in your hands. I know that sounds really sad for a lot of people out there, but like that's just not what we're moving towards. That's not what we want.
Well, and I think the future is in a lot of ways digital, as much as like my little analog soul. You just took a chunk out of your cat.
I love my cat.
As much as we are moving forward in a digital age, and as much as I feel, and I think a lot of other people feel a little bit stuck in analog state, we are moving towards a world that is going to be so much better connected through technology, and the fact that anybody has access to this journal, not just but like 15 people in the state of Minnesota. You know, it is global because it is on the internet, and I think that is really incredible, and I think it's really meaningful too. You know, not having something tangibly in your hands may feel like a little bit less in some ways, but I think the fact that it can reach more people makes it so much more.
So really, all we can really say is goddamn thank you for submitting to our journal and actually making it something that's alive and a thing that exists on the internet.
I literally cannot tell you how many times that we literally would just look at the submissions and just scream in excitement.
Oh, dear gosh.
Every meeting.
Every
week,
single meeting.
Every meeting.
Every meeting.
It was just baffling, and it was beautiful, and it's just, thank you. Just thank you so much. And yes.
Thanks for loving my cat.
Yeah. It's quality. Quality cat content.
So before we move on to our last group of people, we want to talk about how we came to the conclusion of Fawn as our issue.
Yes.
So this legitimately happened last week in a fit of stress. First off, we pushed everything back a month.
Yes.
For submissions because of everything that happened in June. Not only was it Pride Month, but all of those protests were happening.
And it was basically on our home turf. Like, this was minutes away from you, minutes away from me. We were, I don't want to say in the epicenter because...
I was.
Well, yeah, I was a little, indisposed with my ankle issue, which weirdly enough happened the same day as,
Oh, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
We had a month, basically. June was a month for literally everybody, but also for us.
Yeah.
And we decided that it didn't make any sense to do the release now. Mm-hmm. It didn't make absolutely any sense. So we opened our doors back up, and we allowed more submissions to come in. And honestly, because we opened our submissions back up, we went from less than 20 selected submissions to the journal that you see today. So honestly, that was probably the smartest move that we ever made. And honestly, just the fact that all those things were happening at the same time.
I think that is just kind of the way that the world works in a lot of different ways where, you know, there is never going to be a perfect time. There is only you looking out at the vastness of the universe and saying, I'm going to do this now, and it doesn't matter, and it, you know, might not make an impact, but it might, and it might mean something to me, it might mean something to my neighbor, and it might mean something to someone halfway across the world. And I think for us, opening that back up, opening the conversation in a way, really allowed us to kind of figure out exactly what kind of pieces we wanted and drove us towards the conclusion for the title, truly, and really, because we are both, how shall I say?
Terrible at picking.
Really bad at titling things. I can't title...
I use a name generator for a lot of different things.
I think about all my working titles, and I'm full of fear that they are going to be my actual titles. Yeah. Because, you know, what is it? Orange Magic Tang Story is not going to be a catchy title for a book. It's just not. And that's all I have. But...
Any of you writers out there, because... Any of you writers out there who understand the difficulty of titling anything, of naming a character, of literally anything that has to do with a pronoun. Like a proper pronoun.
Oh, God.
Is just the shittiest thing in the whole goddamn world.
Well,
and honestly, the whole, like, insert name here later, dumbass, is a solid way to start.
Best memoir name. Insert title
Insert
later.
title here.
Yep.
Dumbass. Anyway.
I figured it out. Now you have it. Now you're ready.
Perfect.
But for this issue, both of our collective ability to, I would say that I am bad and you are better than I.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really not saying much.
Got together with our collective power and we're like, how are we going to put a name to this really liminal thing that we put together?
So one of the things that we looked at when we put the order together, because I think order is important.
We spent so long on the order.
I think order is important when it comes to reading this journal, mainly because of the way that we put things together. When we selected the submissions, one of the things that we did when we were selecting was, how does this pair well with all of the other pieces that we've already selected? What conversation is this starting, and how does this fit in? Because, you know, that's what we think of as, like, 14-year-old angsty teenagers. And
Yep.
just a bunch of bumbling queers.
Ooh, that is our brand, isn't it? Oh, God. So, we were like, you know, that was something that we actually prioritized a lot, was making sure that everything paired... That comment got me.
That's my friend.
But like, we really wanted to make sure that the stories flowed into each other, because once again, our whole motto is art in conversation. If they are not adding to each other or questioning each other or adding depth, what's the point, you know? And I really do think we were really successful in doing that with the titling that we came up with for this issue and for the placement that we did for all of our pieces. We felt that a lot of the pieces that we received were very liminal, very, like, ethereal. That's such ephemerous.
Ethereal, ephemerous, kind of like, you know, okay, guys.
It felt like gossamer in your hands that you couldn't quite grasp.
You know, any fantasy movie that you ever watch ever, and like the main character happens upon the wonderment of fantasy for the very first times in their life, and like you see their faces, and like they do a whole goddamn panorama of like the whole space.
Are you Lord of the Rings?
Okay, Lord of the Rings does this. Bridge to Terabithia does it. Spiderwick Chronicles does it. Okay, so like, you know what I'm talking about? That solid goddamn trope where the main character is like, oh my god, magic is real. Like Harry Potter style. Oh my god, magic is real.
We're just gonna...
That's the feeling that you get, I think, when you read this, is like you go into it and it, you know, pushes upon this like ephemerous, ethereal glow of, you know, the wonderment of things, and then as you move forward you get deeper and deeper into that hole, and you get
that moment when you get to the forest and you realize you don't remember what way you came in, and you don't know where the sun is, and it gets a little spooky, but then hope is not lost, because there is a trail out, and we guide you through it in the text. And I think that it's one of the things that is so beautiful about really journals in general, is that you get pieces from all over the world, pieces from everywhere, pieces from different perspectives, pieces from different mediums with Brown Bag, and we get to put them together in a story as well, you know?
Brown Bag journals are pieces of art. They're cut up poems.
A little bit,
of
yeah.
other people's stuff, and we get the absolute glory and the absolute
pleasure
of being able to put it together for you guys, because, you know, that's really all we are. We're curators. We're curators of art, and your art is the art we've curated,
and we love it,
and it's great.
Genuinely, it's beautiful, and it's been wonderful to read through all of these pieces and to just see the kind of different art that you can all bring forward to the table. And I'm honestly really excited to see what else is out there. Because, like, if you think about it, we have only breached the surface, not
Like a whale.
You know, oh god, I'm gonna eat my own hair, it's fine. But, like, we really have just hit this moment where it is the first time we have done this, and we are figuring it out. We're doing baby steps. We are toddling about, and it's dangerous because I think we have a matchbook, and it's fine.
Guys, gals, and pals, that means it can only get better from here.
You have such hope.
Welcome to the tire fire. It can only get more ablaze from here. Get me the gasoline. We're about to set everything on fire.
Mine. I love it.
But, so, going back to our previous point, so the reason we came upon Fawn
Yes.
is we were talking last week, because we labeled it last week.
Yes. Yeah. It's been... Yes.
It's been a ride. It's been a journey. It's been a struggle. It's great. But we were talking last week in our, weekly meeting, and we were wondering, like, how should we go about naming this issue? What should we do? How should we go about it? What is the thing to do? And I was like, what if we just straight up named it like people name hurricanes after people? And Nikita was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
Yep. It was a wild, fun time. I think the wonderful thing about it, too, is that I think by virtue of naming it in this way, I think it takes on its own kind of persona, you know? It really does offer this feeling of wholeness, of being. And I think that's really powerful in a journal as well. I really like it. I'm really happy that we settled on the name.
She fierce. It's great.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So that's that.
Yeah.
And Nikita is going to introduce our next round of people.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. You know how this whole stream has been a bit of a struggle. It's going to be more of a struggle. Just you wait. So in this round, this video, fingers crossed if everything worked the way it's supposed to, we will have Emma Bull, who did Roll. We will have Courtney Yokes, who did Promise. We will have Bill Weatherford, who did I Can Offer Tea. Chris Dungy, who did Brush. And David Canterby. Yeah?
I thought it was Centorby. We are sorry if we pronounce your name wrong.
Just
on
know...
multiple levels.
Bad at everything. Who did The Sentence is Sentience and Lament. So, we will see if this works. Wish us luck.
If it doesn't work, yell at us. If we can't fix it, continue to yell at us.
Send us alien emojis. We want them. You've got them. We can get them. Okay, here we go. And nope.
No.
You know what? We're gonna do some fun stuff right now, and it's gonna be great, and we're gonna try our best, and you're just gonna hear my sultry voice as I just try my best. Yes, quite. ASMR.
Hi there, brown baggers. I'm really glad to be part of this premiere issue of this webzine. I wrote the poem Roll, and yes, it's a pandemic poem. I was thinking about the ways that we deal with crisis, or that I deal with crisis, and thinking about how very often we move into one of two modes, which is striving and trying to be heroic and trying to do something even when there's not much we can do. And that feeling of being really frozen, of just shutting down, and thinking that middle way may be to let ourselves relax into the world and the forces around us and just roll with it. So that's what I did, and I would like to thank my friend Jerry Sullivan for putting up a post on her Facebook that inspired some of the lines in the poem. Thank you very much. Oh, right. Did I mention I'm Emma Bull? I'm Emma Bull. Thank you very much again, and happy first issue, Brown Bag.
So the inspiration behind my pole dancing video actually stems from a personal belief of mine.
that pole dancing does not always have to be sexualized. I think it's a lifestyle. It's a great way to gain confidence, to express self-love, to just make yourself feel good. It doesn't always have to be for men, which I think is the stigma surrounding pole dancing, that it's got to be this sexualized, fantasized thing for men, and I don't think that's the case. It's a great way to stay in shape, to express yourself, to love yourself, and I just think it's super important to embrace that aspect of dancing. I once actually heard this quote that said dancing is just poetry, but with arms and legs, and that's always stuck with me. So, you know, I just wanted to thank you all for enjoying my video and for publishing it. Again, thanks.
To thank the editors of Brown Bag for choosing to publish both of my pieces. Lament is basically set up as a type of play to be performed by the different voices and the dialogue that comes from them. I think initially it was a poem, but because a lot of my new work does have a lot of dialogue, incorporates character, narration, not necessarily stories, flash fiction, I guess, but I still call them poems. In this particular case, sort of ended up this way, which I like because I do.
I'm the author of Brush in this inaugural issue of Brown Beggar.
Just to see how people will read it.
It's
and to actually listen to the
vaguely
voices that
autobiographical. There was no bear.
Of course,
there was a tree across the trail that I had to clear out. There had been bear sightings,
the next
so
piece,
that's what provoked this particular story.
Now, a lot of that, some of my work is heavily influenced by Jenny Holzler, Barbara Kruger, and the variety of text-based artists using text as art. Mostly displayed, in fact, all usually displayed in a gallery setting or as public display, public art, Jenny Holzer. But in this particular case, some of the work that I have it can find its way online and in a setting that, in a sense, is for a public display. And more so, I think, than a hard copy journal. There's so much more that can be done online with different pieces, different multimedia, which Brown Bag is. So I am excited to see how that's displayed, and just excited to see the whole issue. Overall, I think I have two different types of work that I'm doing, using a sort of text-based, trying to incorporate that conceptual idea, and through the poetry, a variety of short narrative pieces. It's basically not described, it mostly just that dialogue, and you begin to maybe understand that character presence in the poem. Simply by dialogue and the tone and the attitude. So again, I would like to thank the editors, and I look forward to seeing the finished product, and I hope sometime in the future that I'll be able to be published again by them. Thank you very much. Take care.
Hi, we're idiots.
All right, so we're gonna repeat that whole thing once again so that you can hear us. Thank you so much for listening.
Man,
but I like it. Awesome, David. I'm so glad you like it.
We are just living our best bad lives.
Okay, so in case you didn't hear us, because we're fuckwads and we
can't hear us,
new technology, we are going to have all of the videos that you saw and 2 that were skipped over, Bill Weatherford and Chris Dungy. Unfortunately, we suck, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're gonna have those videos up on our website. It's gonna be in our blog post for next week, so get a load of that because we haven't posted anything in a hot while.
I mean, it's been a time. That's just the universal gavel of 2020, I think.
Praise of gavel.
Thank you. I graduated with a creative writing major, even though I tried to go to medical school. You know how it is. Geminis. What will you do with them?
You're a Gemini?
How
did I not know this?
I'm a Gemini, I'm bisexual, and I haven't chosen a gender. I literally have never made a choice in my life.
I love the liminal space that you live in. 'Cause I, too, I also live in a liminal space. I'm biracial, I'm pansexual.
Quite.
I think the only thing I've agreed upon is the fact that, but also, you know what? Maybe one day I would want a dick. I don't know. It seems really fun for a day. But, no, I know what gender I am. I don't want to.
You don't want to even go into that pie.
I don't want to go into that pie. But I do live a very liminal space, so it's fine.
Which is, good, because our journal definitely emphasizes a lot of those emotions, a lot of those feelings, a lot of that liminality, I feel like. I'm actually a Gemini Cancer. It's fine. So, June 21st birthday.
Really?
Literally, so many people I know.
It's July 21st.
Oh,
So
bummer.
June 21st
you failed
is
me.
the summer solstice, though. If anyone is wondering, we release our journal the summer and the winter solstice, and we picked that specifically so that people wouldn't forget when the release would be.
And it's very monumental.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to figure out, because we release biannually. We're a twice-a-year published journal, and we were trying to figure out when we first started when would be the best time to do the thing that we do. And Nikita was like, what if we just did the solstices? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Oh, round of applause for our contributors that just went.
Yes. We're really happy that you all did contribute to our journal. We're really thankful for you. We really hope that you come back again and visit us soon. We're really excited for our next journal, which we are starting submissions on
August 1st, because we don't know what's going on.
Yes. So it's August 1st to
November 30.
Yes.
The 31st.
No?
30 Hot September, April, June, November.
You failed! So, August 1st to November 30th. That is when we are going to be having our next submission period.
Gender is hard, TM, Greta.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. I feel validated. So, we want to see more of your work. We want to see your friends' work. We want that conversation to continue. Yeah, I'm really excited that we will see more of your stuff, Sam. I'm really excited that we're going to see more of all of your stuff. There's so much beautiful art in the world, and there's so much beautiful art that you guys have contributed. What's the more gender neutral version of that? Because I don't like
folks,
people,
pals, the general public, wonderful humans. You have fantastic contributors.
Fantastic beasts, and where can you find them?
So one day, me and my group chat of friends, shout out to Sam, me and my group chat of friends, it was one of our friends' birthday, and we wanted to be as neutral as possible.
Good. Yes.
So we came up with as many different gender-neutral birthday terms as we could.
Ooh. That's
So,
impressive.
yeah, so
Very nice.
it's a good time. Artists, fellow artists, fellow people, fellow humans, 27 years ago was my last published work. David!
We love your stuff so much, though. Here's the thing, literally, Taylor messaged me before our meeting, was like, I'm gonna fight for this one, and you can't stop me. And I was like, did you see my rating? And,
David, I want you to know I was ride or die for Lament.
you were like, she was going to kill it if we didn't have it.
I was ride or die for that. It was so good.
And I was like, girl, I'm already there. And she's like, yeah, you are!
I hope one day I get to see it perform. That's really all I hope in life. But like, ride or die, man. Ride or die. Anyway, so, if anyone is wondering how gender neutral I can be, pretty gender neutral. How gender neutral can we be? Can Brown Bag be? Extremely.
I mean, our mascot is, in fact, a brown bag.
Oh, if anyone's wondering about, I did
Please?
like it, David. If anyone's wondering about the gender of Benji, it really shouldn't be a question because dude's a bag.
And also, we love it when you have emails addressed to Benji.
Every single
Please
email
only do
that is just addressing Benji is my favorite goddamn thing on this world because I'm in charge. So I'm in charge of the emails. If anyone's wondering, I'm in charge of the emails. I see all of your emails.
Benji
I'm the one responding
sits on
to all of your emails, but it's really Benji responding to all of your emails.
Benji does sit on a chaise lounge.
Oh,
Did I
yeah.
say that right?
Yes.
Okay. And is like, read me the emails, peasant.
Honestly. But, people, beings.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, Greta, what a gem. What a gem. We're out here creating a trash fire, and I'm so glad you adore that. But anyway, we would like to say a huge thank you to all of the contributors who are currently in the journal. We do hope that you go and you read it, and you read it from top to bottom. One of the really awesome things that I really enjoyed about this journal is just how well it came together and how, right it was.
Yeah.
It was just correct.
It was like we would get new submissions that we would go through, and already as we're reading them being like, oh, this would be perfect next to this piece. Oh, this would be perfect next to this piece. And we were just vibing the entire time. It's amazing how much collective works from different people from different areas can just fit like puzzle pieces together.
Can I read from bottom to top? You can. You're just going to get the reverse effect. So the reason we put it the way that we put it is we went from more ethereal and ephemeris and, free floating to concrete, hard-hitting, intense pieces. So if you read it from beginning to end, you're going to get that. You're going to get that feeling.
It'll be
You're
like
gonna
going
get that build.
into 2020, but in reverse.
Yeah. So the reason we have it the way it is so that you get that build. And if you read it the other way around, you're just going to get a de-escalation.
Which, does have a place in this world.
It does. It really does. Really does. So, Sam, to put it in words for you, it's like if you did a ladder backwards and just hated your life at the very beginning, but were pretty okay with it at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those sport ball terms.
Sport ball! But yeah, so thank you, everyone. I know it says that we're here until 8:30, but
we were anticipating technical difficulties from the start, and we assumed it would take us a lot longer to get this figured out.
I could use some desiccation.
Ooh.
Valid. Valid. So yeah. Will this be rebroadcasted? Did we record it?
I should have it saved on my computer, so we will upload it to the Brown Bag channel. Also, if you're wondering why it's not on the Brown Bag channel, it's because YouTube hates us.
No, we just don't know how to use technology!
No, because YouTube was like, oh, you joined, you made an account, but we have to wait 24 hours before you can put anything live. Ooh, aren't we bad? So instead we went on my channel, which is full of, book-related content that you don't have to watch at all. Please
honestly,
don't.
Do it.
Shame.
Do it.
Shame. Cringe. Anyway, so yeah, we'll have all of this uploaded onto the Brown Bag site. It'll be a jam. That's where everything from now on, if nothing else goes wrong, should be located.
Yeah, so we do have a YouTube channel. This will be on there. The videos will be up on the Brown Bag website itself.
Yep.
So if you do want to like not listen to us ramble for a solid 40 minutes, you can just go and watch the video straight up
and just have a banger of a time doing so.
Yeah, we recommend drinking your favorite like sparkling thing. You know, your favorite sparkling juice.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's a LaCroix, whether that's a Waterloo, whether that's Barefoot Moscato champagne. You know,
and for all of our non-alcoholic friends,
Waterloo, yeah.
Oh,
LaCroix, yeah.
Oh, see, I was gonna go more Pellegrino.
Oh, okay. I do love a good. I'm not you know what? I'm not a soda water person.
I just call it spicy water. It makes me laugh.
My friends call it spicy water. Yo, if anyone goes to, all right, I'm gonna plug it. Your girl loves Taco Bell, and if you go to Taco Bell. Wall of your book-related content. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Greta knows what's up!
I'm full of fear.
Okay, but like Taco Bell, if you order spicy water, because, you know, that's happened in my life, they'll give you soda water.
Amazing.
They'll do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Any closing remarks? Any last thoughts from the comments you want us to verbalize? Because we will.
Last comment.
We're very excited about this.
Questions, comments, concerns, complaints from the fellow other people.
You can also ask us to bring a cat on, and we will.
Taco Bell for the. Aww, I love you too, Sam.
Get that. Get it. Get your
Yo,
Taco Bell.
Yeah, no, cats, coffee, and Taco Bell. That's my life, Nikita.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's understandable, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is Brown Bag. This is our trash fire. Thank you for being a part of our trash fire. Feel free to read. Feel free to read Fawn on our website. It will be up forever and ever. And
you can reread it and reread it and reread it as long as you would like.
Yeah, you know, have questions, comments, complaints, feel free to email
Benji. Address Benji.
Always and forever.
Please, God.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
We've got links, and you can use them.
I feel like a YouTuber.
No.
Description box below.
No, you gotta call it the doobly-doo because you've been on the internet for
Charlie
too long.
is so cool, like the doobly-doo.
Do you know that came from Vlogbrothers, right? You didn't. Oh, we're doing
so cool, like was the Charlie McDonald was the first YouTuber I ever watched in my whole life ever.
Oh, you're such a baby. I mean, same though, but like, you know.
If you didn't start, if you weren't, okay, first off, if you weren't our age and you didn't, and your first YouTuber was not Charlie McDonald, plugging Charlie McDonald, go watch his things. He's great.
He also has a book out if you're interested in science.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah. You know, go watch him. He's great. Secondly,
yes.
Go follow us on all our socials. Thirdly, see you later, my guys!
Have a lovely time. We love you. We're so glad you came here. We're excited for the next journal. Okay, cool. Bye! And now I have to turn this off like a real professional because my face is so sweaty. Oh, God.